Yo, 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 welcome back to Brandon Smooth TV. Back at y'all with another review. We got Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Just a brief history. Um, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the first movie, was a good movie. We loved that it was all animated and it actually worked. And what made that movie work was it was a new take on Spider-Man for the most part, even though, as comic book readers know, Miles Morales has been Spider-Man in the comics for a while. But seeing that on the big screen was super, super dope. Also, the animation. I don't know who is the animators for this, but whoever it is, they did a fantastic job. Even like when you watch some of the Disney Plus shows, like Marvel Zombies is coming out, or the What If series. To me, this is the top of the line as far as animation. And then the third thing that makes these movies great, they did an excellent job with casting the voice actors. And you can feel the passion just ooze out of the screen and out of these characters. Almost makes it look like they actual real characters. You know what I'm saying? Almost like live action. I mean, you can feel it. Also, whoever is the animator, the emotions that are conveyed on their faces, that's something that just really pulls us together. Because, with animated movies, sometimes you can miss the mark with that. So the first movie, we loved it because it was a new take. I always look at the first one kind of like a training. It was basically more of like a training for Spider-Man. But now we pick up with Miles Morales. He's been Spider-Man for a while. He's into the swing of things and he's definitely getting it in. So with this movie, I enjoyed this movie thoroughly. There wasn't a second when I was watching it that I felt bored or out of place, and I was kind of sitting on the edge of my chair to see what would happen next. Um, Spider-Man always had a lot of issues, right? And I think that's why people relate with Spider-Man more than almost any other Marvel character is his realism. Um, Uncle Ben's quote, "With great power comes great responsibility," is something that truly um, is displayed in these movies, and it's true. And I like how they linked up all the Spider-Man with like basically one thing that's the same in every universe. They have to deal with a very, very close loss of a family member. They have to deal with that. So when the movie picks up, it actually kind of shows more of Gwen Stacy's story as far as her being Spider-Man in her universe, and then now they basically have a task force that's led by Spider-Man, the one you see to the left, and of course, they all all the suits are blue and red, but the red and blue suit right here to the immediately left of Miles Morales. So basically, as far as the different universes are concerned, they're making sure that the Spider-Mans are doing what they're supposed to do and certain events are supposed to happen to keep everything going. So they're basically time police. So Gwen Stacy, with in her universe, apparently, how she got her powers look like her original Peter Parker died too, original Spider-Man, and now she's kind of shunned because her dad is a police officer, so she's kind of shunned, and it's like he died somehow, and her dad believes that she's the one that took out that Spider-Man, so she ended up leaving her universe and joining the Time Cop Spider-Man. That's what I'm gonna call him. To basically go in, pursue different bad guys, and basically keep all the universes intact. Um, so I thought she did a pretty good job in this too. My favorite character though probably was Spider Punk. I love that he was anti-establishment. I definitely enjoyed that he was trying to buck the system, and he really didn't care about he was doing the job, enjoying them. He didn't really care about being part of that. So I did see an article where they were talking about potentially giving him his own movie or maybe doing some type of branch off. If they do that, I would definitely enjoy it. Secondly, Miles Morales fought an interesting villain, the Spot, and he's not a new villain. Of course, he was in the comics, but his powers was super cool, and the way they displayed it and had him going in and out of universes and fighting, that was the best. Also, the spider sense on all the Spider-Man, I thought that was super cool. Miles Morales, his is getting better and better. And, I know it's something they can tap into and hone, and, over time it gets better. But the way they utilized the spider sense in this movie was super, super cool. Um, yeah, but the fight with the Spot at the beginning was spot on, no pun intended. And I like that they conveyed that villain, not as just super, super evil or maniacal, but he was just trying to get some money at the beginning. So, he was doing robberies. It seemed like he was kind of new to it. And then he figured out different ways to basically tap into other universes. And he wanted to use the machine that they had, the Spider-Man had, to basically spread his power and make him damn near, invincible, because he's hard to catch. You can't really catch him. The second thing I definitely enjoyed, Spider-Woman. She did a good job, was voiced by Issa Rae. Spider-Man 2099 was voiced by Oscar Isaac. I immediately recognized his voice. And Spider-Punk, he was voiced by Daniel Kaluuya. So I immediately recognized those three voices off tops. I thought they all did a fantastic job. It had a sense of realism to the movie. I think they definitely let them do some ad-libbing in this and kind of let them, with the lines kind of, do a little improvising, which I thought was super cool. The best scene was the Council of Spider-Man. And basically, they showed them that they're all intertwined in a big web, no pun intended, and there's certain events that have to happen. It definitely reminded me of like Loki's series, as far as, the time police and that. And there are events that must occur in each universe, and if they don't, it can basically tear the fabric of that reality of the universe and mess up or throw off the course of the timeline of the entire Spider-Man timeline. So that was a dope scene where basically they showed that his father was going to die, and Miles Morales is sitting there like, what are we doing? I can save him. Why are you not allowing me to save him? They're basically saying, look, this was supposed to happen. So that was a good scene. My favorite scene in the movie, and that was an excellent twist that I enjoyed. I even enjoyed that twist more than the one at the end. I also like that they incorporated the Spider-Man that his universe takes place in like India, Mumbai, India. He's a Spider-Man right here to the right with the long hair. Super cool potential to get his own movie. I definitely like how they brought that in, and that his whole universe was basically set up in India. Also, it definitely has a cultural aspect to it. I see, I don't know a lot about Indian culture, but I do know his Spider-Man suit incorporates his own culture, and I thought that was super, super nice. It's a whole bunch of stuff that happened in here. Spider-Man, when we were in the universe, basically at the hub where they're all at, they had every variation of Spider-Man. I seen a Tyrannosaurus Rex Spider-Man. I was like, this is dope. Also kind of reminded me of Rick and Morty with the Council of Ricks. And that actually originates with the Council of Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four, actually in the comics. So I thought that was a good concept, and they brought that over. Spider-Man 2099, he had actually, we found out, went to a universe where the Spider-Man died and tried to take place of somebody that was basically the same as him, to replace some of the loved ones he liked. And when he did it, it messed up everything. So, to me, the first closing, quote unquote, of the movie is when they basically were all trying to stop Miles, and he actually outsmarted everybody, which I thought was dope, and ended up going back to his reality to try to save his father. Now, as far as the comedy was on point. I laughed through most of it. I like the one-liners, and it's crazy because, most Spider-Mans, they're very quippy. They have the quips, you know what I'm saying? And they're very funny. They're always making fun of their enemy while they're fighting them. So I like the different styles, and everybody put their own flavor on there. That was cool. But the ending was crazy because we ended up finding out that the original spider that bit Miles Morales, of course we know, was from another universe, right? So when he tries to go back to his universe to save his father, he ends up getting transported to that version of Earth, not his own. And we ended up finding out that his uncle, who was the Prowler in the original, wasn't the Prowler in this universe, and we ended up finding out that it was Miles Morales that was actually the Prowler. So they left it off at a cliffhanger, and we basically going to pick up where Miles Morales is going to fight the evil version of itself. Go check this movie out. Simply just for the animation, the CGI, everything in this, it's worth seeing. That's worth the price of admission. But it has emotional depth. And you're going to be on the edge of your seat, and you're going to enjoy this movie. This is a family-friendly movie. You can take the kids and everybody. So go check out Spider-Man across the universe, across the Spider-Verse. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, I'll be back with the next review. Peace.